Okay guys, as I was waiting in line to get my ticket to go see this movie, I was repeating these two phrases over and over again. Please don't suck. Please don't suck. Please don't suck. And please don't ruin my childhood. Please don't ruin my childhood. Please don't ruin my childhood. Please. Anyway, hey there guys, what's up? It's Autobot Mike 18 here with another movie review. Guys, wow, it has been an entire week almost and I haven't really given you guys any videos. I am so sorry guys, I have been incredibly busy. It's been 2 weeks since my last movie review, but I'm doing really busy, important things over at college right now. I'm in the middle of pre-production for a film I'm working on. Really busy. I'm going to be posting a channel update very shortly, just to let you guys know what's going to be happening with my channel for the next couple of months for the most part. And yeah, so stay tuned for that. I just wanted to make that clear. And again, I'm almost near 1,000 subscribers, which is just insane. Thank you guys so much. I just wanted to make that clear that I'm not ignoring you guys. I'm just really busy. Anyway, guys, let's talk about the movie I luckily had enough time to go see today. Made some time to go see this movie. Hadn't been to the theater. The last thing I saw in the movie theater was The Boy Next Door. I had to wash that taste out of my mouth with something. And I told myself going to see this movie, you know what, this movie has to be better than that, okay? It's gotta be. So the movie I'm going to be reviewing for you guys today is the Spongebob movie, Sponge Out of Water. Just let that title sink in. Okay, let's go. So yes, guys, we have another SpongeBob movie. SpongeBob, which was created, what was it, 1999? I was like 3 years old then. This show has been around for a while. This series has been around for a very, very long time. This is the second SpongeBob movie, and honestly, when it came to this, The Seventh Son or Jupiter Ascending, what movie would you honestly rather go see? This, alright, I think it was a no-brainer. The other two just don't look that appealing to me. You know what? I went to go see the SpongeBob movie, Sponge Out of Water, because this was my childhood, guys. Some of you may not know this. I don't think I've ever brought up SpongeBob on my channel. Yeah, I don't think I have. No, I haven't. SpongeBob was a big part of my childhood. I grew up with the show. I really, really loved the show. You're speaking with someone who's been watching the show since he was 3 years old, watching the older, good episodes, because the show definitely started to digress as it progressed, as it, went on. But, yeah, definitely a longtime fan of the older episodes, so as I saw the trailer for this movie, I was very skeptical going into it. I walked into the movie, yes, I was saying, please don't suck, please don't ruin my childhood, but I walked in with very, very low expectations. I set them way down, because honestly, I thought I was going to walk out of this movie and just be like, this is the worst thing ever, butchered SpongeBob, I hate you, Nickelodeon, what are you doing with this character? You suck, stop, just stop. Okay? I really thought that was going to happen when I came out of the movie. That's how bad the movie looked via the trailers. And I'll let you know whether or not I was surprised or whether or not I was correct or wrong in a second. What I'm going to do right now is get into the plot really briefly behind the SpongeBob movie. It's not a movie that is just like so in-depth and so convoluted with so many different plot twists and everything going on. It's got a really simple premise, one that we've seen done a billion times before on the show. But basically, the movie starts off, it's a normal day in the Bikini Bottom. Everybody's at the Krusty Krab enjoying Krabby Patties, and there goes Plankton with another attempt to steal the Krabby Patty secret formula. And then SpongeBob and Patrick have to defend the Krusty Krab. And in the midst of Plankton's attempt to steal the formula up and disappears. It just vanishes. And SpongeBob and Plankton are being blamed for this, so they team up and go on a mission to discover who took the Krabby Patty secret formula, where is it, where did it vanish to. Meanwhile, the rest of Bikini Bottom just plunges into utter chaos and an apocalypse, pretty much, due to the loss of the Krabby Patty secret formula. Now, guys, that is the basic... That's the premise. That's the movie you're paying for, guys. I mean, I know it sounds dumb and ridiculous, but it's SpongeBob, okay, guys? It's SpongeBob. A show about a frickin' talking sponge and talking sea animals that live under the water. You got a starfish, you got a crab, you got a grumpy, lousy clarinet-playing squid, and a squirrel with a helmet who can breathe underwater. with the helmet on, as long as she has the helmet on. That's SpongeBob, guys, okay? It's ridiculous in its own right, but anyway, and then there's a whole other plot point going on. It's actually was shot live action. It's live action. Not only is the film animated, but it's also partly live action. It involves a pirate who is played by Antonio Banderas. Let that sink in for a little bit. And, yeah, so he's also in the movie playing a pirate. Captain Burger? Was it something Burger? I don't know. Something Burger. Captain Burger. I don't remember. Yeah. That's it. That's the SpongeBob movie, guys. So, again, as I said earlier, I walked into this movie with zero expectations. Now, here's my history with the SpongeBob, with SpongeBob in general. I grew up with it, okay? I collected the toys. I watched the show. I had SpongeBob blankets, for crying out loud, on my bed. I was a big fan of this show. And right around when it came out, I know my parents always hated it, but I always enjoyed it. I loved the older episodes. Then the movie came out in 2004. That's right, it's been 11 years. Count it, 11 years since the last SpongeBob movie to hit the theaters, which is insane. And then in my opinion, right after the movie came out, that's when the show really started to go downhill. And I stopped watching right around season 5 or 6. Not only was I growing up and getting interested in more different things that were not only on Nickelodeon, but on other channels and other things like that, and other movies, I just lost interest for the show. However, I still occasionally, whenever I have nothing to do, which is very rare, okay guys, very rarely do I have free time. Whenever I have downtime, it's like 12 midnight, Nicktoons, that channel that plays all different cartoons, not Nickelodeon, Nicktoons itself. It's like 12 midnight. If they have a SpongeBob episode on, I will sit down and watch it as long as it's one of the good classic ones. Okay, like the one where they sing at the Super Bowl halftime show, or the one with Frankendoodle. I mean, those kinds of episodes. That's what I love. That's SpongeBob, in my opinion. Mainly because they hide those like little subtle, dirty adult jokes in there. And I find it even funnier now seeing those jokes in the episodes than when I was a kid, because I didn't pick up on those. I was like, oh yeah, that's funny. I'm laughing at this. But now I realize the subtle jokes they try to throw in there for the older viewers, and that's what I loved about the older episodes. And honestly, that's what I was fearing going into the film. I told myself, it's going to have none of that adult humor. Most of the humor is going to be dumb, childish, just inane bull crap that is just for the kids. And that's fine if it's for the kids, but make the humor good. Because that's what started happening to the later episodes. They honestly just weren't that great. They were boring, they were bland, they just weren't funny, they were just stupid, just plain stupid. And I was fearing that going into this movie. I did have 2 minor expectations, though. And those 2 were, I wanted some slight adult humor in there, just subtle adult jokes that just were a great reference to the older episodes. And the second thing I wanted was a couple of throwbacks to the older episodes. That's honestly all I was asking for. I didn't get the first thing after having seen the entire movie. It doesn't really have all those subtle little adult jokes. You might find 1 or 2 here or there. Maybe you're like, oh, I get what the writers are trying to do with that. But really, you're not going to get that with the movie. And that's fine, I guess. But the one thing I definitely enjoyed about the movie, and definitely put a smile to my face, and it definitely started bringing back memories to me as I was watching the film, were the couple of throwbacks that they had in the movie. For example, when Plankton is attacking the Krusty Krab, Patrick gets hit with something, and he yells out loud, "Villain!" And you guys remember in the Frankendoodle episode of SpongeBob, when the Frankenbob, or whatever his name was, he drew the bowling ball, threw it, and it hit Patrick, and he said, "Finland!" It just reminded me of that so much, and it just brought a huge smile to my face. I was waiting throughout the entire movie for that one random guy to say, "My leg!" And they actually did it, and I was like, yes, that is SpongeBob, guys. And not only did they have those little references and throwbacks to the original episodes, but in my opinion, they also they nailed all of the characters to their older counterparts. Because in my opinion, they changed way too much as the show went on, but they nailed them all in the movie, in my opinion. Patrick being the dumb moron that he is, that does dumb things, but definitely appeals to the entire audience. There's one scene in particular with him, SpongeBob, and Plankton, and it was great, okay? It was set around their houses, you know, SpongeBob, Squidward, and Patrick's houses. That's all I'm gonna say. It was great. It was funny. I didn't see it coming. That's Patrick. Expect the unexpected with him, and that was great. Mr. Krabs being the cheap crustaceous crab that he is, Squidward being the terrible clarinet player, all of that. They had all of those great references to and throwbacks to the original, and that's honestly why I liked the movie as much as I did, and why it put an honest smile on my face. And I'm not saying this movie is just perfect, because it's not. It's not better than the 2004 movie. It's not better than the original episodes, but it is definitely better than some of the newer ones that have come out. I haven't seen like I know the show ended, I think the show ended recently. I don't even know. I stopped watching the newer ones, but I'm pretty sure that this movie is better than the newer episodes, because those were just terrible, okay? They're just not funny, just dumb. And yes, most of the humor in this movie is childish, and it's meant for the kids, but that's the point. This series was always really meant for children. However, the older episodes were also for the kids, but for the adults as well, because of those subtle jokes they threw in there. And because you don't get that with this movie, I think that's why I was a little bit let down, even though, again, I didn't have too many high expectations. But here's my thing. If you're over the age of 14, go into this movie with extremely low expectations, and I think you will be mildly satisfied. You'll love the throwbacks, the references. You'll love just seeing all of these characters back up on the big screen. A couple things they did with the plot were kind of interesting as well. SpongeBob and Plankton teaming up. We've really never seen that, really. And they even have a great throwback to Plankton going back into SpongeBob's brain. That happened in one of the earliest episodes of the first season. Okay? I mean, I just loved little things like that. Little nods to the original episodes, the great golden ones. That's what I really liked about the movie. I overall liked the plot. There are some really dumb things and moments added into the movie here or there. For example, there's this whole thing with a dolphin that just got under my nerves and just really pissed me off. But again, it was for the kids, kind of, not really for me or any adults out there. It's just not for us. And there were a couple other little dumb things, like they do something really stupid with Sandy early on in the film that I just didn't buy into. This little dumb things like that. But again, this movie this is what the SpongeBob movie Sponge Out of Water is. It's a good time to remind you that SpongeBob was at moments a really good show, and it was definitely one of the things that made my childhood awesome, and that's why I liked the movie as much as I did. In the end, guys, I'm gonna give the SpongeBob movie Sponge Out of Water a solid B- or an 8 out of 10. Now again, that's not me saying rush out and see this movie. That is me saying see the movie on a very cheap night or at a matinee price. It is worth your money then. I'm not saying rush out and pay $13 to go see the movie. If you have children, definitely take them to go see this movie. They will love it. I think all that will work. Things that I really liked about the movie, apart from what I had already mentioned, those little great references and throwbacks to the original episodes. Again, I thought the animation was pretty good, and especially in the third act when they all come up on dry land on the beach, and they're on human land. In the third act of the movie, seeing that in the trailer made me cringe. I'm like, oh, the animation looks terrible. But it actually wasn't terrible, and I liked seeing them interact with all the things on the beach. I thought that was actually pretty cool. They're all really small, and they're being thrown around all over the place. I thought that was pretty awesome to see. It's something they've never really done before. They've gone out of the surface in the first movie, but they didn't do what they did in this movie in the first movie. So I liked seeing that as well. The plot was entertaining. Yes, it has its dumb, silly moments that are just for the kids, honestly. There's some wacko things that happen, but it's SpongeBob. But again, 8 out of 10 for me, B-. If I'm grading this for the kids, because the kids laughed in this movie, they didn't laugh as much as I thought they would, but they laughed enough. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. I'm not going to go 10 out of 10. I did the same thing for the Lego movie last year, which came out the same weekend. But I'm giving it 2 grades. One for the kids, because the kids will love this movie. And for the adults, 8 out of 10. See it very cheap if you don't have kids. If you do have kids, you know they're going to want to go see the movie, and they're going to love it, and they're going to end up singing the theme song when they get out of the movie. So guys, those are my thoughts on the SpongeBob movie, Sponge Out of Water. Guys, it could have been a lot worse than I thought it was going to be. but it just reminded me of what I loved about SpongeBob. That's what it did, and that's why I scored the movie as high as I did. So guys, there you have it. Those are my thoughts on the SpongeBob movie, Sponge Out of Water. What did you guys think about the movie? Let me know down below in the comments if you've seen the movie. And were you fans of the original series? Did you like it at all? Were you ever a fan of the series, or were you just like, it's okay? And if you were a fan of the original series, in the original episodes in specific, what, in your opinion, was the best SpongeBob episode? In my opinion, from my good old days of fond memories, the best SpongeBob episode was by far Chocolate with Nuts. Chocolate with Nuts. Patrick and SpongeBob knock on the door. Hello, I love you. Slams the door in their face, and then they ring the bell again, and then the guy comes out, and he's like, please, just go away, okay? You got great moments like that. That's what I love about SpongeBob. That's my favorite episode. Guys, let me know all those things down below in the comments. Thank you so much for watching my review, and I really appreciate it, guys. I will see you in my next video. Bye.